My girlfriend mocked my generosity in front of her friends, bragging that I was easy to use. So I ended the relationship and took legal action. I, 28M, come from a middle-class family and work as a sales manager. I met my girlfriend, 26F, at a mutual friend's birthday party last year. She worked as a marketing coordinator for a local firm and seemed down to earth at first. We clicked immediately over our shared love of indie music and trying new restaurants. The first few months were amazing. We'd spend weekends exploring the city, going to concerts, and just enjoying each other's company. About 6 months into our relationship, I started noticing small red flags, but I brushed them off as minor quirks. She'd forget her wallet more often when we went out. She'd make comments about how her ex used to buy her expensive gifts. When I'd treat her to dinner, she'd order the priciest items without even a thank you. Still, I convinced myself that these were just surface-level issues we could work through. Things took a turn when she introduced me to her friend group. They were all about status and appearances, designer bags, luxury cars, the works. I noticed how she'd act differently around them, becoming more materialistic and dismissive. She'd brag about the gifts I got her or the places I took her, but something felt off about the way she presented it. Last month, I decided to surprise her by taking her and 3 of her closest friends to an upscale restaurant for her birthday. I've been saving up for it, wanting to make her day special. Throughout dinner, I noticed her friends giving each other knowing looks and suppressing giggles whenever I offered to get another round of drinks or suggest a dessert. After the main course, I excused myself to use the restroom. On my way back, I overheard their conversation through the partially open door to our private dining area. What I heard stopped me in my tracks. "God, he's so easy to manipulate," my girlfriend was saying, her voice slightly slurred from the wine. "Just bat your eyes, mention how your ex used to treat you, and boom, he's pulling out his wallet. Men like him are perfect to use until something better comes along." Her friends were laughing. One of them said, "Girl, you've got him wrapped around your finger. Remember when you told him your car broke down and he gave you money for repairs? And you bought that Gucci bag instead?" "That's nothing," my girlfriend replied. "Watch this. I'm planning to convince him to help with my credit card debt next month. He's such a sucker for the whole damsel in distress act. Plus, he's got that promotion coming up at work." I stood there, feeling like an absolute fool. Every emergency, every sob story about needing help with bills or repairs, it had all been calculated. I thought back to all the times she'd called me her hero for helping her out, realizing now it was just part of her manipulation. The worst part? She wasn't even subtle about it anymore. She was openly mocking my generosity, treating it like a game she'd mastered. Her friends weren't just enablers, they were her audience, entertained by how she played me. I walked back into the dining room, my mind racing, but my face neutral. My girlfriend immediately switched to her sweet, caring persona, the one I now realize was completely fake. "Everything okay, babe? You were gone a while." I sat down and forced a smile. "Just fine. Hey, didn't you mention something about credit card debt earlier this week?" The question caught her off guard, but she quickly recovered, launching into a practice story about unexpected expenses and how stressed she was about the mounting interest. Her friends exchanged those knowing looks again, probably expecting me to swoop in with offers of help. Instead, I pulled out my phone and started scrolling through my banking app. "What are you doing?" she asked, leaning closer. "Just checking something," I replied calmly. "You know, it's interesting. I've helped you with quite a few emergencies over the past few months. Car repairs in March for $2,800. Rent shortfall in April for $1,200. Medical bills in May for $3,500. I looked up from my phone. "Funny how you're wearing that new Gucci bag that came out in March. And those Jimmy Choo shoes you bought in April. And that Cartier bracelet from May." The color drained from her face. Her friends suddenly became very interested in their dessert plates. "What exactly are you implying?" she demanded, her sweet demeanor cracking. "I'm not implying anything. I'm stating facts. Facts I heard you bragging about just a few minutes ago." I turned to her friends. "You all seem to find it hilarious how she's been scamming me. Still funny now?" The silence at the table was deafening. My girlfriend's face cycled through shock, anger, and then settled on damage control. "Baby, you must have misheard. We were just joking around. You know how girls talk when we're together. Don't make this into something it's not." "Really? So you didn't buy a Gucci bag with the car repair money? Your credit card debt isn't another scam to get more cash out of me? Please explain how I misheard you calling me a sucker and bragging about how easy I am to manipulate. Her friends started gathering their things, clearly wanting to escape the situation. One of them actually had the audacity to say, "Maybe we should give you two some privacy." "Oh no," I said firmly. "You're all part of this. You knew what she was doing. You encouraged it. You laughed about it. Stay and watch how it ends." My girlfriend switched tactics, tears welling up in her eyes. "I'm sorry if I said some stupid things. I was just trying to impress them. You know how much I care about you. Everything we have is real. Everything we have is a lie," I replied. "But hey, let's talk about that credit card debt you're so worried about. How much was it again?" Her eyes lit up for a split second, probably thinking she still had a chance to manipulate the situation. $8,000, she said softly. "The interest is killing me." I pulled out my checkbook and started writing. The hope in her eyes was almost pathetic. I tore out the check and held it up. "Here's a check for $8,000. Her hand reached for it eagerly, but I pulled it back. "But first, I want you to admit to everyone at this table exactly what you've been doing. No spin, no excuses. The truth." She stared at the check, conflict evident on her face. Finally, greed won out over pride. "Fine," she said, her voice cold and calculated now. "You want the truth? Yes, I've been playing you. You're a nice guy with a good job who's easy to manipulate. I used the car repair money for the bag. I used the rent money for shoes. And yes, I was planning to use your promotion bonus to clear my actual debt. Happy now?" Her friend sat there, stunned by her brazen admission. I nodded slowly, then ripped the check into tiny pieces. "What are you doing?" she shrieked, mask completely gone now. "We had a deal. No, we had a confession. And now everyone here knows exactly who you are." I pulled out another item from my jacket, a small digital voice recorder. "Including your complete admission of fraud?" She lunged for the recorder, but I easily moved it out of reach. "Delete that right now," she demanded. "Or what? You'll tell everyone what a terrible person I am for exposing your scams? Go ahead." In fact, I pulled out my phone and started playing the recording I'd made earlier of her mocking me to her friends. The sound of her own voice bragging about manipulating me filled the private dining room. "You recorded us without consent. That's illegal," one of her friends piped up. "Actually, this state has one-party consent laws for recordings. I was part of the dinner party, so it's completely legal. I checked with my lawyer friend last week after I first suspected something was off. He also helped me document all the emergency payments and the timeline of her luxury purchases." My girlfriend's face contorted with rage. "So what's your game here? Trying to shame me? Good luck proving anything. It was all gifts freely given. Oh, I don't need to prove anything legally. I just needed everyone to see the truth. And trust me, they will." Her eyes widened. "What do you mean? Those social media posts you love making so much. The ones bragging about all your expensive purchases? I've archived them all, along with the timestamps of when I gave you money for your supposed emergencies. Funny how they line up perfectly." She went pale. Her friends were now staring at her with a mixture of shock and dawning realization, probably remembering all the times they had liked and commented on those very posts. "You wouldn't dare," she whispered. "I'm not doing anything to you. Your actions, your choices, your consequences. I'm just choosing not to be your victim anymore." I stood up and took out my wallet. "Here's enough cash to cover everyone's meals. Consider it the last thing I'll ever pay for." One of her friends spoke up. "Wait, if you suspected all this, why bring us all here?" "Because enablers deserve to see the fallout. You all knew what she was doing. You laughed about it. You helped her plan it. Now you get to watch it all crash down." I turned to my now ex-girlfriend. "I've already packed up anything you left at my place. It's with the doorman at your building. Don't contact me again. You'll regret this," she snarled. "I'll tell everyone what a controlling, abusive dash." "Go ahead," I interrupted. "The recordings, the documentation, the witnesses here. Try it. See how that works out." I looked around the table. "I'm sure your friends will be happy to back up your story." "Right." The silence from her friends spoke volumes. They were already distancing themselves, probably realizing that associating with her could impact their own reputations. "I'm not going to do anything," I said calmly. "But from now on, you'll have to fund your own lifestyle. No more scamming good people who actually care about you." I turned to leave, but she grabbed my arm. "Wait, we can work this out. I'll pay you back everything, I swear. Just don't expose me like this." "Like what?" "Like how you expose me to your friends. Like how you mock me behind my back. Like how you turned my generosity into a joke." I gently removed her hand from my arm. "The difference is, I'm not exposing anything. Your own actions and words did that." One of her friends, the one who had been quietest throughout the dinner, finally spoke up. "He's right. What we did, what we encouraged, it was wrong. I'm sorry." My ex shot her a venomous look. "Shut up. Don't you dare take his side." "See," I said to the group, "this is who she really is. Remember this moment the next time she comes to you with a sob story about needing money or help." As I walked toward the exit, I heard the chaos erupting behind me. My ex was yelling at her friends. They were arguing back, accusations flying about other scams I hadn't even known about. I didn't look back. The next few days were interesting. My phone blew up with messages, first angry, then pleading, then threatening, then apologetic. I blocked her number. Her friends started reaching out too, some apologizing, others trying to defend her, a few even attempting to guilt-trip me about ruining her life. I blocked them all. She tried showing up at my workplace once, causing a scene about how I'd abandoned her when she needed help. The security escorted her out. After consulting with my lawyer, I decided to file a civil lawsuit for fraud and misrepresentation. The evidence was overwhelming. I had the recordings of her admitting to the scams, text messages about the fake emergencies, bank transfers, and even her social media posts showing the luxury purchases made with emergency money. The court case was straightforward. Despite her attempts to paint the money as gifts, the judge saw right through it. Her recorded admission at the restaurant about deliberately deceiving me for financial gain was particularly damning. The court ordered her to repay all $7,500 she had scammed from me, plus legal fees. She tried to claim she couldn't afford it, but my lawyer discovered she still had most of the luxury items she'd bought with my money. The court gave her 30 days to either pay or surrender the items for liquidation. It's been 2 months now since the judgment. I've spent a lot of time reflecting on the red flags I ignored and the lessons I learned. I don't regret being generous, that's who I am. But I've learned that real generosity is appreciated quietly, not exploited publicly. The hardest part wasn't the money, it was realizing that someone could take one of your best qualities and weaponize it against you. But I refused to let her turn my capacity for kindness into a weakness. Instead, I turned her mockery into motivation to stand up for myself.